Alright, I'm going to try to make a quick demo video showcasing my new failover implementation on the CAS 700 system. So what I've got right here is the Benton machine and its control board on the desk at my house. I had to bring it here to tune it and modify it to do this. So typically the way that this works in normal operation is the repeater's connected to the simulcast control board, and this control board connects through network back to the master control server here at my house. And that allows all of them to synchronize together. That server is what controls the entire thing. Without a connection to that server, they're basically just repeaters that are all on the same frequency, and they fight with each other the same way it would happen if anybody on multiple radios tried to start talking at the same time. So without the server, it doesn't work. They're unusable. So let's say that all three locations lose internet, and you're in the middle of town and you're within range of all three of them because you got a really good radio set up on your vehicle. So you try to key up the radio, but they're disconnected from the server, so all three of them just start going haywire, fighting with each other. You're keying up three repeaters at the same time. Nobody can hear what you're saying. It's all garbled. There's too much interference. So ideally, what would happen is whenever it goes into failover mode, when it disconnects from the server, that is, for whatever reason, it would fail over to a different setting than the other repeaters. That way you could program the failover mode for Benton into your radio as a separate channel, and you could use it independently in the case that it is offline. That would allow the three repeaters to remain usable as standalone repeaters if they ever disconnect. So that's exactly what we've got here. Notice right now, this is actually the status indicator right there. That LED is on. We are plugged into the network. Everything's working as intended. It is connected to the CAS 700 control system. It is currently on channel 2. If you look at my programming software for the repeater, you will see that in channel slot 2, I have the normal CAS 700 settings, which is the 141.3 PL or CTCSS tone. That is what you would normally use to access it. Now notice channel 1 actually has a 77.0. So, in the event that the connection is lost, this machine will actually revert to channel 1 automatically. So I'll just demonstrate that by unplugging this network cable, and as soon as I do that, you will see that it switches over to channel 1. So we'll just use it normally real quick. I'll plug that network cable back in, it'll reconnect, and once it reconnects, which takes a few seconds, it'll go back over to channel 2. We've got our radio over here on CAS 700, just the normal settings. Wait for her to fully boot and connect. There we go. On channel 2, normal CAS 700 settings, WRKF 394. There we go. That's how we would expect it to act. Now, let's simulate a lost network connection. We've now failed over to memory slot 1, which, as we said, is a 77.0 tone now. So now you can key up Benton just by itself without keying up the other ones. So I try to key up. I don't get anything back because it has changed over. So I will scoot my radio over to the Benton backup, WRKF 394. And you don't hear anything, but you can see right there this signal coming back. It is working. I'm hitting buttons on my microphone on accident. But anyways, that's how it will work. So we will have information on all of the websites and all that stuff. We'll have different PL tones for each repeater in failover mode, and you'll be able to program those into your radio so that you can just switch over and use it if they ever disconnect from the server and you need to use them in failover mode. And that will allow them to continue operating and be usable even without the big fancy simulcast system control server.